Hello and welcome all. This is going to be the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be quite a deviation from my comfort zone and my regular vibe. And I trust that the messages that push me are divine. However, we would estimate the words that I'm able to use to speak forth the energy that's working through me, I will leave to whatever forces want to judge me. But let's not create a whole lot of debate or ideologies. I may even shut down the comments on this particular video. My apologies in advance. However, I dislike speaking on views that polarize, and religion and politics are those two well-known subjects. And I don't consider myself a particularly religious individual, but I feel that we all have some awareness and intra-connectedness with something that we can identify with as a solid, compelling force to return to love. And so you may define that in any way that feels well for yourself. However, I've also noticed that there's also a bug in my hair. Random, right? In the middle of this. However, everything is a message. I don't edit my videos. I'm very authentic and genuine in that way, and I hope that you can appreciate this. And I do not, to continue this entrance into this subject matter, which many of you are already aware what's coming, I believe that there is a warning for all souls when we look upon a thing that is a transgression and are unwilling or feel incapacitated from our ability to correct or to transmute that energy. And to that end, let's just take a moment, take a deep breath, and I'm going to relight some herbs. We've got some black sage mugwort here. It says Firefly Ridge. Love those guys. But it's my herbs. And so what we've got here is some various predictions, and people of two minds, whether it's in our personal lives or otherwise. And this is the whole prospect and principle of polarity, duality, completion, wholeness, unity. Consciousness begins with the awareness of duality, the I am presence, and the I am not choice point. So, yes, just a pause to collect and call in all of those energies from any unconditionally loving source. And let's just say that I fell into some information. There's definitely been a recent happening with the political figure in the United States. All of us probably already understand and have heard and seen this. And I have not taken in more than probably two people's opinions. And my own has been quite bland at the beginning. Kind of interesting development, because I don't follow it anymore because it makes me crazy. And it's just the large illusion, correct? But it's also, it's telling me the more intensely the message becomes louder and louder in my ears, I'm told to stop shutting up. There are many who would advocate for hate and for divisive tactics. And some of those hold similar truths to myself, but the tools that they're employing are dualistic, and there's a place for all of us. But I'm being told that those that truly feel compelled and called, that are tuning into this in particular, this intense message, I hope that you can hear your own messages. And that's why I'm being careful and intentional with my words. It's not about my opinions. It's not about how the light hits my inner prism or prison of ego and beliefs and learning. Some of that has been formulated by bumping up against what I would perceive as transgression and evil and so on. And yours as well. Sitting here with some cards in my hands, all of these disclaimers. However, I feel that it's more than how we handle it. It's about the repurification of our love quotient. And I absolutely cannot think it to be an opinion, but fact. Please forgive me if you don't agree, but when individuals capitalize on ego and so on in order to gain prominence, and when certain individuals that feel to be in some sense of majority cannot understand that all of their I am nots in that manner of being identified with that singular ego, all of the I am nots this individual is declaring puts them so much in the minority. They are becoming one little raindrop. And the diversity is the power. And to that end, why do we cling to common opinion? Why do we follow the Pied Piper to the edge of the cliff and keep going off the end? Why are we like lemmings, to date myself, that just walk into a wall over and over again, doing nothing with our voice and our choice? And I guess this is a call to action for myself, and I don't know what I'm called to do. But I think that number one, I identify with that blue ray of the need to clear the throat chakra and just say some important things. And I think the reason I have not previously is because I could not clear and transmute the judgment and the polarization of the ego that was at play within my feelings of being almost betrayed by the jaded, unconscious doings of others. And so this is one of those things that several of us will be thinking of doing and feeling. It's like, the truth of the throat chakra is blocked by lies, the lies that we tell ourselves first and foremost. And when we look across the collective, every so often, when something intense that is either unjust or that public opinion is so marred and enmeshed with ego and damage and addiction and the negatively spinning tree of life, instead of working towards the life and the clarity and wisdom and honor and sacredness of all that is, the destructive tendencies, not even destructive to rebuild anew and better, but those tendencies of the collective that have been self-destructive, that we are, as we are identified with the ocean as empaths, that we can't help but harbor residues from that energy. And I feel this huge upliftment with this 8 year at 1010, which keeps repeating for me time and time again, to plug carefully into that matrix of the 1010 to our own personal impact and influence, because we are the most powerful when we are clear, fully embodying the light. I see the lag in my electronics as I start to really feel something more that I am more aligned with than the angst and the frustration. It's about the embodiment of the light and the power and the I am mighty, powerful, I am presence. Whether you call that unity consciousness or the Christed consciousness, it's not about, oh, look at me, I'm enlightened. It's about, damn, I can't unsee that. And therefore, I am the one who will act, the one who will intend, the one that will not unsee and will never be able and willing and complicit in lying to myself in whatever personal or collective experience that you're facing. Let's get into these cards. I'm curious what popped out during the angsty moments. Synergy of authority. I feel like this is what we just got done tangenting about. The ability to work with our power and authority, with divinity, and with righteous intent. So one of the things that came to me was through astrology, which I follow more than the others. I took in only one bit of information and media from an outside source, besides the conversations. And this led me to realize that we have the one individual whose midheaven is together in their natal astrology, connected with the fixed stars Algol and Capulus, and Capulus being the severing sword arm of Perseus the hero, and he slays Medusa's head. But there's also the Cephas sea monster story with Perseus, but it's Algol as the severed head and Perseus Capulus the severing of this. We can look at this many ways, both with the losing our heads, losing our connection and the logic, through disclarity, dysregulation, all of these other things that we could look at. But we can also look at the ability to liberate ourselves from the mind and to gain momentum and full Kundalini life force energy when we draw our energy through the heart and back down firmly to our firm foundation and our root. And the root is the respect and the sacredness of the earth, of the land, of the seas, and of the collective, and of our sacred connectivity to our neighbors. Under the deck, we've got earth and fertility. Yes, our ability to seed what is right and true, righteous, I'm hearing again. So again, one of the other things that came to me this morning while I was recognizing that these areas of the sky are being transited today, with Mars and Uranus coming together in the skies in real time at this individual's midheaven, natal midheaven, representing the career, the social impact and influences. And anyways, someone else was saying something about they didn't believe he was the Antichrist. However, they did realize there was a head wound recovery, minor injury to the head, in the story of the Antichrist in Revelations. You can check that out if you want. I just saw magic. Beautiful. I am just the messenger. I came across this information and I read through it, and it very much charged me up. And I know that these are translations. I have my own views of all of that information, but it reminded me of several years back. I did not believe that it was real, that this could possibly happen, that an individual that was that stood for divisiveness, evil, and so many things that appear to me could be seen from the opposite side of things as these were evidence of this individual's goodness to other people that were perceiving the same information. I thought it was a cosmic joke. I thought, no way. I thought it was ridiculous. And then it happened, and I couldn't believe the next several years of my life. And then we fast forward from there, and with even all of the, I don't know why I'm dancing around it. It's clear, right? I just don't want to speak directly on things and give anything undue power over anything. But even recognizing and having judgment passed through the systems that we all are subscribed to, promoting and preserving independence and honor and justice for the individual to practice and be as they are, to be sovereign peoples, which is more towards the end of the ideologies of, bring us all of your poor and your huddled masses, and let us be the melting pot that honors sacred unity through diversity. And then to just, pardon my words, to shit can that and then be like, oh, well, this individual that shit cans our values publicly is actually the good one, the savior. He's coming to save us. And then in the Revelations, if this would be somewhat predictive, it says something to the effect that this individual will gain prominence for, I think it said 42 months, which was very close to a 4-year term before things start falling down. And then it has this huge, like, wrathful section where then the angels are all mad and they start bringing these plagues. It's like, oh my gosh, this is intense stuff. And so as an empath, I took all this information in, and I mean, please don't bring any fear frequency unduly. I believe that that we always have the choice. Having been forewarned, do we believe in the sacred I am to be the effort that stands very proudly on the side of the whisper of love, instead of the jaded populace of, oh yeah, this guy, he's stronger because he's mean and he stands on others to get what he wants, which is really, the toxic masculinity, the hierarchical thinking mind, the scarcity competitive vibration that is lifted up as a false idolatry here. It's like to pretend that this individual is connected with some type of honorable, sacred source is ludicrous to me, and I will not apologize to individuals that believe that this is to be revered, because I feel like I've already, as one of the meek, I have already surpassed that lesson. The 8-year for me is a return and a spiraling up, no longer the hamster wheel, no longer the quiet, silent generation's impact and influence upon the sacred, divine, feminine energy. The Shakti is sick to death of being suppressed and shutting up. The beauty of the youth coming in, that would even challenge myself. I'm no longer so young as I would wish to. I don't even think I'd wish. Um, I'm honored to be at the midpoint, perhaps, of my life. And what do we do with the becoming process? Do we become lost in the nostalgia and the idolatry of the youth? Um, uh, do we become cemented in the ruts of our forefathers? Or do we rise up? Do we call our sacred flame forward and say, enough is enough? I believe in the light. I believe in the mercy and the glory. I believe in my personal power, and I hope that you do too. The throat chakra I just saw is on the bottom of the code deck. Let's just see if anything else wants to pop out quick. I know that when I speak with a lot of fire. When I stop challenging and suppressing what I really want to say, even in this broadcast, I've suppressed quite a bit because it's important to me to generalize, but this is pretty precise, which is why it's going to aggravate many individuals. How dare I have an opinion? Anyways, I think that that's enough. I'll take this one. Remembrance. I believe that this is Akashic wisdom. Remembering what we are as source in body. Fertility again, and this one wants to step forward. Empowerment. I'm not surprised that that was the next one on the bottom of the deck. Remember our power, our magical authority, and how to wield this sacred authority and power to guide, guard, and protect the world with our ability to impact, to be the composting, the unifier. It's not about division. It's not about standing against evil. It's about the embodiment of the light, which is why I don't want to give voice to the I am nots. I want to advocate for our magic, for our power, for our wisdom, and our ability to synergize with those also in leadership positions, to persuade them, to mission our own truth. We've been missioned too. And mission is perhaps the wrong word, but the Ark of the Covenant came up in a few readings and in my personal readings, along with divine physician and healer of the ages, Saint Germain, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel. I'm not a biblical individual, but the evidence in my own life has shown me that there are forces of light that wish to speak to us. I'm getting chills and vibrations through my whole body. Eight of Roses, Sangha, community. And we've got initiation of the Count Saint Germain here. Under the deck here, we've got waterfall, looks like. And under here, we've got Two of Roses, winged messenger. Do you see that angel on the wings of the dove? And the table is set. Perhaps we need to gather and advocate. And this is any individual in their own lives, not just politically, not just collectively, but our impact is greatest on the most individualized level that we can ascertain, whether that's self to self, self to family. And again, don't forget, always recall that your magical empowerment and utilizing your leadership is to synergize and not to divide. We've got the Eight of Roses, Sangha community, Spring and Autumn, Four of Forces, that Four of Wands energy, and Eight of Cups, with the 14 major arcana, initiation of the Count Saint Germain, which is the mighty I am presence, which has already been called forth, as well as the violet flame, gathering a crowd, being willing and able to stand what seems to be in contraposition from the masses, from the community, in order to be the messenger, the Lamb of God, the sacrificial lamb, perhaps. At the bottom, we have Uriel and the Sphinx, 21, and the One both major arcana, Oracle of the Delphi. These two being our ability to be the messenger of God, listening to the voice, the whispers of God, and the life force energy coursing through us. And all we can do is be the sacred scribe. All we can do is take it in our symbol language and advocate for what we feel and love and know. And then we have 5 of forces, summer, winter, and the waterfall here. I was already channeling something with Saint Germain that will be shared next Sunday. A channeled message that I'll be sharing at the Lighthouse Chapel in Lansing, Michigan. And this is going to be a time where not only the Lionsgate portal coming up in a few short weeks on August 8th, but then we have many 888 numerological hits, such as the 8th, the 17th, the 26th, but then also because the year is an 8, 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. This is a looping, a return. And also, if we say that 8 and 8, the year and the month are 16, it only takes one more to make that a 17, which reduces to an 8. So then we can also include August 10th and so on. I can't memorize it and I don't want to spend too much time. Do your own math. But there are no less than 9 there. But also what I'm getting at, we have 4 and 5 of forces, spring and fall, summer, winter. So the shifting on the wheel of the year, the 8 points on the year, the wheel of the year. So 8 again. So these are the stations of the sun. It's alignments of sun, moon, earth, and with the cycles of the earth itself. And many weeks back, I had one that was called The Earth is Going to Shake, where I got my energy all riled up because of a need to get out of some long-standing karmic cycle of suppressing and doing for others at our expense, and the need to stand up against something that has been attempting to pick at us, bully our energy in some type of a way. And so this is the year of the empowerment, the dragon year in the Chinese zodiac, which also corresponds to some of that Revelations text. So let's go into the Kali cards and Kuan Yin cards for some goddess energy with this Shakti energy that wants to speak through us. And let's see. I'm going to read from the book because I love the poise and gentleness that Alana Fairchild, the creator of these decks, speaks with, which at this point I'm definitely calling in. I know I can be intense. I've got a lot of fire in my chart. Is that it? Let's take that in a split. Actually, I'll take these top 2. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Orchid, Priestess of Destiny. So that Oracle of Delphi type of energy, and that Gabriel type energy with her not a trumpet, which is brassy and loud, but with a flute, which is delicate, high vibrational, piercing. And this is the message that you have to convey, and it's your destiny to speak it loudly. So we have Reveal the Peacock Beauty from the Kuan Yin deck, number 24. Look at that, a harp, another very subtle, very soothing type of a vibration. There's some type of story about a golden harp that I don't know. Seriously, this is so silly. I can only ever remember the one that's in this, it was Mr. Scrooge and the Three Ducklings. It was some kind of after-school cartoon, and the 3 ducklings, Huey, Dewey, Louie, come across this golden harp, and I always remember they would strum it, and she would always correct them and say the truth, and she would do this thing. She's like, "You're fibbing, fibbing, fibbing." What is that? So why is that coming in? It's the truth and the lies and the blocking of the third eye and the clarity, some type of healing vibrational music, the emanation of your own voice and wisdom. And below, the priestess of destiny is the princess of the autumn harvest, again with the seasons coming through with the harvest, and she's smiling and has some kind of, I think it's, is it a lute that's the guitar like thing? I have my instruments messed up. I think that's a flute also. But anyway, she's playing it behind her head. And then we have from the Kali deck, Durga Kalika. And this is the one I want to read out to you guys. So I hope that I'm going to not run out of time here. We're at the end of the video. I do hope that you appreciate some of these messages and consider being your own advocate in this world. So she is the fierce divine justice and unyielding resolution in favor of the light. She is every method and all means necessary to ensure success for the soul. She is the unexpected victory, arising at the very moment when all seems lost, transforming tragedy into triumph. She is our spiritual sun, our light, and our ever radiant reminder that from darkest night, a new dawn shall always rise. Dare to trust more in your faith than in your fear. For every problem that can arise, there are many more divine solutions unfolding even now. Yes, this Shiva lightning strike. We had a huge lightning storm last night, and I had to pull in some umbrellas. Here I am out there in a lightning storm with an umbrella that I'm trying to take down. I was praying for sure. There's something here where we are some type of divine conduit, channeling psychic spiritual energy and taking the Poseidon, the god of the watery underworld, that divine feminine, not underworld, you get it, under the seas here, and to awaken the world with the light of our torches, and to, it's like electrifying the third eye of the world and of the collective as we stand together in solidarity for the light. It's not about politics. It's not about who's standing in leadership. It's about the light quotient that we're able to embody. So let's all do our own meditation on what that means for our own private practice and our own advocating for light in this world. So I love you all very much. And if you got this far, I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. And until next time.